Alrighty here, we're going to do some absolute value inequalities. So let's see what we got to do here. We want to interpret absolute value inequalities, determine if it is joined by an and or an or, and solve accordingly. Usually, if you got the compound inequalities, then this should be fairly easy. You just got to remember one simple rule. The simple rule is this. If you see a greater than symbol, then you are thinking greater, and that means you're going to think of that absolute value as an or statement. If you see a less than symbol, or less than or equal to, think less than, and that would be an and statement. So remember, these types of graphs, especially in the absolute value inequalities, will go in opposite directions, while these will stay in between the two answers. All right? So anyways, let's get this started. Okay, so here I have a absolute value of 6y minus 5 is greater than, greater than or equal to 13. So I'm saying greater, so that is an or, which means I'm going to say 6y minus 5 greater than or equal to 13, and 6y minus 5 greater than or equal to negative 13. And you might even want to flip-flop that just so you have them right, but kind of pay attention to how we graph this at the end, okay? Anyways, the same steps to solve. I see a minus 5, so I'm going to add 5, and then I'm going to divide by 6. More than likely, because this is really hard to make both of them come out even, you're probably going to get one decimal or fraction answer. I don't care how you give it to me. I prefer fraction, but if you give it to me as a decimal, that's fine. Now, notice here that the negative 4/3 is going to be the number on the left. Always the number on the left should be the smallest number, and the number on the right should be the larger number. And notice that the arrows point in opposite directions for them, so they will go in opposite directions like that. So then your interval notation would also be negative infinity to negative 4/3 and 3 to positive infinity. So all you're going to really have to do for these is just identify if it's an or an and, greater, less than, and then kind of, abstract, multiply, or divide. I guess I could make y'all try to multiply. That's too hard. That's too much work for me. Anyways, just kidding. All right, so let's look at another example. Let's hit play. Okay, so here is a 4x minus 7 greater than 13. Okay, so I'm going to say 4x minus 7 is greater than 13, or 4x minus 7 is less than negative 13. And then again, I would just do what I normally have to do to solve, add 7, and then divide by 4. Notice I'm going to add 7 to both of these and then divide by 4. So this is kind of like what we did with the absolute value equations. The biggest difference here is that we can do some more work with, putting them on a number line and showing the inequality. Ba-bam, and ba-bam, and ba-bam, and then go in opposite directions. So fairly simple on how to do that, and you're kind of going from there. Now let's look, those two were greater. Let's look at two examples of less than. Less than. Alright, so I've got this one right here. It says 5z plus 2 less than 17. Less than or equal to, actually. So there's my and. So that basically means ands are like this. We start, they're the ones where we can put numbers in the middle. So what is the 5z plus 2 going to be in the middle of? It's going to be in the middle of negative 17. So notice there, positive, negative. It's always like that, positive, negative. But ands are usually in between. So that way you can always get this idea, oh, what do I do with ands? Subtract 2 from both ends, and then divide by 5. Ba-bam, ba-dum, da-da-da-dum, ba-dum, bum, ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. And again, you're going to probably get a decimal or a fraction on one of them. Not much I can do about that. Not that freaking easy to make it like less than that. Alright? So, by the way, if I talk too fast, y'all need to let me know, because sometimes I kind of get like super excited at something and I start talking really fast because I'm really excited. Sorry about that. I do that. Alright, last example. See, I told you this wouldn't be that bad. 4t, I can't even read that anymore because something's in my way. 4t minus 3 less than equal to 7. So again, I would write this as 4t minus 3 less than or equal to 7, but then I'm going to also put on the other side negative 7. So in reality, when you got that and, you're saying that the 4t minus 3 is Greater than the negative 7, but less than the 7. That's, or between. Really, that's what that is. Between. Okay, so I'm going to add 3 to both sides. Then I'm going to divide by 4. Okay, sorry, looks like I may have, like, hopefully I didn't not skip anything, but I had to take care of something right there. So I added 3 to both sides. This one will give me 10. This one gives me a negative 4. Then I'm going to divide by 4. And that would give me, this time, negative 5, or negative 1, t's between negative 1 and 5 halves, which, like that, plug them in, close dot on both, bada bing, bada boom, there you go. So that's really absolute value equations in a nutshell. But I wanted y'all to like kind of separate those two ideas from each other, so hopefully it wouldn't be too hard. All right, so that's it for today. Again, if y'all have any questions, y'all are always more than welcome to ask. Thank y'all so much for your time. Y'all take care.